All right, welcome. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, and the like and more. Welcome. Happy Saturday, everybody. Dak is king. Welcome to the chat, my man. If you're still here, happy Saturday, dude. Happy Saturday. One love. All right, we have a few things to get into. Not a lot to get into. There hasn't been that much news recently, but it is an open discussion kind of day, so we can go ahead and do an open discussion. So Julio Jones, or the Eagles did reach out to the Falcons regarding Julio Jones, and that's all we know. That's pretty much all we know. There is one team, obviously, and I think that we talked about this last time. Big Play say, what's up, my dude? I think we talked about this last time, but there is at least one team that has made a first-round pick offer, according to reports. So is it Howie Roseman? You know what I mean? Was it Howie Roseman? Who knows? Who knows? The Eagles have the capital to do it. And what is a first round pick at the end of the day? I mean, if we're talking about that pick that we got for Carson for Julio, would you do it? You know what I mean? Would you guys do that? Because Colts are going to be good. And so that's going to be a late first round pick if it is a first round pick, if Carson plays 75% of the snaps, or it's going to be a second round pick if he doesn't. And I honestly believe that they're not going to get a first round pick for Julio unless it's a team like the Eagles in a situation for a pick like that one. Dak is King says, I feel like Julio is washed. I feel like. I understand where you're going, and maybe he is on the verge of getting there, but I think honestly he needs the LeGarrette Blount, kind of treatment. You know what I mean? Like he needs to go to a new place to see if he can get, the best of his final years. And I think Julio, even more than LeGarrette Blount, has that scenario has a higher chance in that possible scenario. So, I honestly would do it. Do I care? Do I care if we don't do it? No, I don't. Would I care if we did? Yes, I would. I mean, I'm going to be okay with the team, is what I'm saying, without Julio Jones. But guys, if he comes to Philadelphia, you still have to prepare and game plan for Julio Jones. I mean, it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who says the Eagles shouldn't do it, I get where you're coming from, but I just don't, see why they shouldn't try. And apparently they've tried, and who knows what they're doing. Adam Kaplan, everybody's so freaked out about the cap hits that Julio Jones is going to take up on his next team. According to Adam Kaplan, it's seen as a 1-year contract, basically. So the other cap hits for Julio Jones's contract is, not as bad as people think it is. However, moves are going to be needed to help make this thing work. But I think that the Eagles could do it if they wanted to. Dacus King says, would Julio want to come to Philly? I thought he wanted to go to more of a sure contender. Well, it doesn't really matter what Julio wants at the end of the day. I know that they want to do right by him, but who's to say that the Eagles aren't a contender? Who's to say that the Eagles aren't a contender in our division? Who's to say? Who's to say that? The Falcons have a. I would say that the Falcons have a tougher division to work with than the Eagles have had over the past couple of years. You know what I mean? So, especially last year. The Saints have been good. The Saints are probably going to be good again. They really are. I mean, I think Sean Payton is going to be okay without Drew Brees. And I think they're going to be okay. I think that's the thing too, is like we have a higher chance of winning our division than probably the Falcons do. That's the fact of the matter. That's the fact of the matter. Big Play Slay says every team that doesn't have a number one wide receiver should all consider Julio. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And we don't have a number one wide receiver. Look, here's the truth at the end of the day. The Cold Stone, ice cream, hardcore truth. We don't know what Devontae Smith is going to do in our offense. We don't know what Nick Sirianni is going to do in our offense. Do we have good feelings about it? Yes. Do we have good feelings about Devontae Smith? Yes. Is he probably going to be really good? Yes. He probably is going to be really good. But he's also not the number one wide receiver that I think everybody thinks about when they talk about number one wide receivers. We are also the only team in the NFC East to not have your prototypical number one wide receiver. I mean, look, the Washington football team has scary Terry. The Dallas Cowboys have about three guys who could probably be number ones. They have Michael Gallup and they have Amari Cooper and they have CeeDee Lamb. So each one of those guys can get the job done. And New York, they have Kenny Golladay now and Kadarius Toney. I mean, Kadarius Toney is not 6'3", 212 pounds, 217 pounds. Kenny Golladay is what, 6'4"? So I think that the Eagles. Here's the thing. I mean, we can take Howie Roseman's call to the Falcons with a grain of salt. We can do that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's seriously considering it. Here's the thing. So the other thing with this too is that everybody wants to make a big deal. Nah, they're not going to go get Julio. Now the Eagles are rebuilding. The Eagles are in transition. Yeah, they are, but I think I lost faith in the fact that they're not going to try. I lost faith in, oh yeah, this is a rebuilding year. This is a youth revolt, blah, 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 blah. I lost more faith in that idea once they brought in Ryan Kerrigan. And I love Ryan Kerrigan. I think he has the upside for more production than Chris Long. And that's not to take anything away from Chris Long. It just seems like Ryan Kerrigan has got a little bit more juice left. I think that the Eagles are trying to replicate. I think the Eagles are trying to replicate 2017 offseason. I also believe that two things. I believe that they're trying to replicate 2017 offseason, except for I think that they're trying to do it with more youth implementation. And that is exactly what they've been doing so far. So who did we bring in? In the 2017 offseason? Alshon Jeffrey. Look, there are tons of fans that want to say that the Julio Jones thing would be just like Alshon, and that's why we should go and do it. No, I mean, it's not going to be just like Alshon. Julio is Julio. Julio is 10 times better than Alshon Jeffrey. And look, 2017 was a different year. We already saw Carson Wentz and what he had the capabilities of doing in 2016 and where this offense was going. Obviously, this is Nick Sirianni's rookie head coaching year, and Doug already had a year under his belt. I don't want to compare it to the Alshon Jeffrey move in 2017 whatsoever because I believe that Julio is a different breed than Alshon. Alshon's a bitch, guys. I don't like Alshon. I didn't even necessarily like. I liked the move. I liked the move in free agency when we did it back in 2017, but there was a gut feeling that I had that was like, you know what I mean? Because he quit on the Bears. And what did he do in Philadelphia? He quit on the Philadelphia Eagles. Julio Jones is a guy who goes out and gives everything he can each play of the game. He's a guy that could take over the game at any moment. Alshon was not that guy. Deshaun Jackson was that guy. Alshon Jeffrey was never that guy. Sorry. But you got me on a rant. And here's the thing. I think that I understand the skepticism in believing that Howie Roseman calling the Atlanta Falcons was any more than a breadcrumb. I get it. But it's okay to be a little bit more excited than just that. It's okay. Because I believe that Howie Roseman is dead set on getting back to the mountaintop. I really do. Believe that. He had a lot of interesting things to say to the Good Morning Football guys. And Howie Roseman seemed passionate. He seemed fiery. He seemed he seemed like he was dedicated and ready to fucking do whatever he had to do to get back to the top. And I like that. I actually like one of the few times I actually liked hearing Howie Roseman talk. And I was completely shocked. So I still think he's going to continue to be aggressive, guys. That's what I think is going to happen. It wouldn't surprise me if Julio shows up on this team or if he doesn't show up on this team. But anybody who says that he wouldn't help the Philadelphia Eagles is absolutely ludicrous and out of their minds. So Jalen Hurts me. What's up, my dude? Sorry about that. I was on a quick rant. Hey, DB, what's good, man? How was work and your day today? I didn't have work today, but I appreciate that. How's your day going so far, my dude? The Mad Brow. Alshon was huge in 2017. Can't lie. Yeah, Alshon was phenomenal in 2017. He really was. When we had Frank Reich, and then he just dropped off the face of the planet. And look, I know that injuries kind of hampered him here and there, but I mean, I think it all started with the Nick Foles versus Carson thing. And I think Alshon was one of those guys who believed Nick Foles should have been the guy instead of Carson. But obviously a year later, dropping that pass against the Saints in the NFC divisional round was huge. And then never really did anything with Carson after that, except for having a big game back in 2019 against the Miami Dolphins, which we ended up losing. So, Mike Nixon, welcome to the chat today, my man. I think that Julio is going to go to Titans. It makes too much sense because you can give A.J. Brown a couple more years to develop into the number one, and it will diminish the workload for Henry. Yeah, it makes perfect sense for him to go to the Titans. Look, guys, it makes perfect sense for him to go a lot of different places. Titans are definitely one of them, and I don't think the Pats. I don't really think that the Pats necessarily need him. It makes sense for him to go to the Colts and play with Carson Wentz, who, by the way, looks pretty good so far in Colts practices and looks like he's getting his confidence back. That's the latest out of Indy. And I still feel like we're gonna regret that. We're gonna regret getting rid of Carson, but all the same, I think if Jalen Hurts plays well, then we don't have to necessarily. It's gonna obviously hamper the emotional reacting for Carson Wentz playing well in Indianapolis. So, Dacus King says DB is so animated with his arm when he goes on a rant. It's actually a mechanical arm. That's why I'm actually pressing a bunch of buttons as if I'm playing, a video game. Just kidding. Yeah, I am, because it's like all of the fucking passion goes through hey, Dak is King said DB is so animated with his arm when he gets on a rant. Yeah. Just kidding. Big play, say something, Mike Nixon. That's not for me. All right. But yeah, guys. So, I mean, there's also reports that I heard about, obviously, on the wire, somewhere along the social media universe, that the Eagles did offer Zach Ertz to the Falcons along with a pick. And I don't know how much of that is true. The Falcons don't really need Zach Ertz. The Falcons could do some interesting shit if they acquired Zach Ertz and had Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts. That would be interesting. 3 tight ends that can get the job done. Kyle Pitts. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it is useful for the Falcons to acquire a guy like Zach Ertz if those rumors are true. Jalen Hurts says Falcons don't want to take on any contract over, I think. Yeah. No, and that's probably true. And that's what I'm saying is these are just breadcrumbs and they're probably not true, but I think it's worth talking about it because, if there is crumb somewhere, we want to see what is what. And and let's explore it a little bit, Jalen. Let's explore it. It would be useful for the Falcons to bring in Zach Ertz. One, because if you had Kyle Pitts lined up on the outside, and Zach Ertz is obviously, as we know, dangerous across the middle, that puts a lot of pressure on defenses. So it makes sense. But I don't think there's any real truth to that. I think the Eagles, I honestly believe that the Eagles may have been that team. There's a possibility that the Eagles were one of those teams that made that first round pick offer for Julio, if that so happened. So, but we'll just have to see. I honestly believe that he will get traded in by the end of this weekend or within the next week. I really think it's coming to a close. So, kind of like the Carson trade rumors. It really was only a week that we had to wait, past what was expected, but I have a feeling. I got a feeling that Julio Jones is gonna be traded next week. Just playing. But yeah, and so who knows what team he's gonna go to? Who knows what team he's gonna go to? We'll have to see. Breakout candidate, says Big Play Say. Breakout candidate on offense and defense. Miles Sanders is my breakout guy. Well, obviously I have a couple. I think it's safer to say Miles Sanders than it is Jalen Hurts, just because the truth at the end of the day is we don't know. I do believe Jalen Hurts will break out. I think Jalen Hurts will be good. It is kind of something that I wanted to talk about, is for Jalen Hurts to have the amount of haters that he has is just kind of beyond me. I don't get it. I really don't. It doesn't make sense. Yes, did we go 1-3 in the games that he played? Yeah, we did, but he almost brought us back against the Packers. He did bring us back against the Arizona Cardinals. The defense shit the bed on that one. And I honestly believe that he took us up 14-0 against the Dallas Cowboys on the first two drives, and the defense shit the bed. He probably would have won the game against Washington football team if they didn't bench him. So really, what are we looking at here? If we had a better defense, and you can say this about Carson's games last year too. I mean, Steelers, Ravens, back to back. Carson played good. He didn't play great, but he played. It's probably the best ball that he played all season last season is against the Steelers and the Ravens. I honestly think there's a shot that we weren't 1-3 just because of Jalen Hurts. Like, you have to remember that. Like, I feel like analysts and shit like that like get too caught up in that, where they solely give the record responsibility to the quarterback, and rightfully so. It is the quarterback position, but there's other reasons to lose, and there's other reasons to win. Obviously, like, universally, that's how we judge the quarterback too, is did you start that game? Did you have the chance to bring it back? And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But, I mean, the defense was god-awful against the Cowboys. The defense was god-awful against Arizona. The defense was god-awful against, and that's pretty much it. But that's two games. We won 1-3. You win 1-3. So that's the difference between 1-3 and 3-1. So there you go. On defense, my breakout candidate, honestly, Josh Sweat, guys. Josh Sweat. He's going to continue to get better. And as far as surprising cuts is concerned, and I know that we talked about this in the past, I don't necessarily think he's going to be a cut, but he could be and maybe it's not a surprise. Derek Barnett, guys, $10 million in 1 year to a guy who hasn't done much outside of recover the Brandon Graham strip sack on Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Josh Sweat is putting in more work. with less reps. And we drafted Milton Williams for a reason. So. But hey, the Eagles get rid of Derek Barnett. That's $10 million. That's $10 million in cap space. So that's something to think about too. If Howie Roseman is called the Atlanta Falcons, Derek Barnett and a pick for Julio, I mean, it makes sense to me. Or anything. I mean, Derek Barnett might be on the trade block. He should still be on the trade block. Dax King says top 5 wideouts in today's game. Yeah, I guess I agree with Mike. Hopkins, Julio, Hill, Adams, Thomas. I got to agree with Mike. Big Play Slay says Hopkins, Adams, Hill, Diggs, and Thomas. Yeah. I wasn't really high on Hopkins for the longest time, and maybe it's because he was in Houston. But I do. I've always liked DeAndre Hopkins. It's not like I didn't have faith in him or anything like that, or thought he was it's not like I thought that he was overrated or anything like that. But yeah, I agree. Hopkins and Adams are right up there. Mike Nixon says, nah, bug play Diggs. Big play Diggs. Not there yet. I have Diggs 6th. Julio is still top 5 to me. Yeah. I mean, Diggs dropped off a little bit. I feel like. I mean, not a lot, but like he did. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't necessarily have the speed of the DeAndre, but if he did, it'd probably catapult him into the top 5 for me. Big Place says, good stream, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Always do. One love. I appreciate all you guys being in here. Obviously, it's DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. I appreciate all you being here. Mike Nixon, Big Play Slay, Jalen Hurts, me, Dak is King. All y'all, man. All of y'all. Calvin Ridley and Justin Jefferson coming up too. I like Mike Evans as well. Yeah, the only thing about Mike is that Mike was up and down the couple of years before Tom Brady got there. But obviously, injuries had to do with that. Justin Jefferson's already making a name for himself. I don't have any faith in any of the Dallas Cowboys wide receivers. As far as consistency is concerned, Dak is King. I do apologize about that. But Amari Cooper had the chance to take one of these top spots, and he just didn't. Dax King says, Patrick working today too. I don't know where the fuck Patrick is, honestly. He's probably off obsessing over the Jets. Big Play Slay says, I got to disagree because if Diggs wasn't on the Bills last year, Josh Allen wouldn't have played how he did last year. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Josh Allen was better in his rookie year than people give him credit for. He showed a lot more potential in his rookie year than people gave him credit for. And therefore, because of that, I think that his progression was in a natural state. He was in a natural state of progression already without Diggs. So I think he was going to get better regardless. But yes, Stephon Diggs, having Stephon Diggs on that team did make it easier for him. And look, that's exactly a good example of the Aaron Rodgers situation, right? Like the Bills are continuously going out and making sure that Josh Allen is cool and good. And they do it every single year since they drafted him to play quarterback, to be their franchise quarterback. So the Bills are doing it right, but the Packers not so much. And this is Aaron Rodgers that we're talking about. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, who would you take? Would you take Josh Allen? Or would you take Aaron Rodgers? Actually, I probably shouldn't ask that question because Josh Allen is younger, and still has a lot of room to grow. But my point is this: you have faith in both the guys. Aaron has put up a astounding resume and is going to be up there with the greats as far as Green Bay quarterbacking is concerned. You go and you get the guy help. You go and you get the guy support. They never really did it. They just never really did it. Dax King says, I do agree. I think I am relying on CeeDee Lamb for the future more than anyone. That's probably a good way to go. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be the better wide receiver out of those three. I like Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is a good wide receiver. I think he's actually better than Amari Cooper. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Dax King says, I wanted the Cowboys to take a slot guy like Rondell Moore, to be honest. Yeah, I know, and why? You told me this before. The Cowboys have wide receivers. They don't need any more weapons, bro. They didn't need any more weapons. They might need a tight end, but they don't need any more wide receivers. They don't need any more wide receivers. I mean, at some point, you're having a guy on the team you're having a talented guy sit on your team for no reason, because there's only one ball, right? So it is what it is. Mike Nixon says, who do you think is the most underrated quarterback in the league? Who do I think is the most underrated quarterback in the league? That's a really good question. That is a really good question. I still think it's Carson Wentz. He's going to show all of his haters wrong this year. That's what I believe. Most underrated has to be Matthew Stafford. I don't think he has been underrated at points throughout his career, but like from the people that know what they're talking about, and obviously everybody's entitled to their opinion, but for the people that know a little bit more about Matthew Stafford and what he's done and what he did for the Detroit Lions, it's not, and he's playing for the Detroit Lions. He played for the Detroit Lions for most of his career. Are wrong about him being the most underrated quarterback of the. I mean, or don't know what they're talking about. He is underrated. I do agree. He is underrated. I just think that there's other ones. Dax King says, or Justin Herbert. I want to give Justin Herbert another year before we start making those underrated or overrated quarterback opinions, just because it was only his rookie year last year, so we'll have to see what he does in year 2. I think he's gonna be good though. I think he's gonna continue to get better. I think the team as a whole for the Los Angeles Chargers is gonna continue to get really good, and they're gonna be carried by Justin Herbert. So Justin Herbert, obviously, as Patrick and I have talked about, is a young, bright and shining star. Blah blah blah. Jalen Hurtsby says, I'm still on Kyler Murray train. He's going to be so good and will be top 5 easy. Yeah, I think he's going to be in the top 5, and I think it's going to be a debate wherever he is. Because we have like guys like Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and others in there as well. You know what I mean? So Joe Burrow. So We'll just have to see. And the thing that goes with that too is, Zach Wilson. I have a feeling he's going to be really good. And Shusha in Jacksonville, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. We'll see. I'm not gonna put the egg to bed, or however that saying goes. I'm not gonna put that egg to bed. I'm not gonna crack that egg, motherfucker, until I actually see him play. Urban Meyer has been retired and been out of the game for a little bit. We have to see how these things go. What's up, man? Says MG. What's up, MG? How you doing today, my dude? Happy Saturday, my friend. Welcome back to the channel. Mike Nixon says Carson Wentz is definitely most underrated. Truthfully, I think the Colts is a dark horse team to go to the Super Bowl this year. I completely 100% agree. They look good. I mean, I get it that it's only OTAs, but they look good. And Carson looks like he's got his confidence back. He's obviously healthy and happy and da-da-da-da-da. I think that everybody's worrying about the 75% of the snaps more than they probably should. Carson hasn't been that injured over the last few years. He really hasn't. He really has not been that injured over the last few years. Yes, he got a concussion and was fine a week later. In the playoff game a couple years ago. They shut him down in 2018, and so that's why Nick Foles carried that out. But since 2018, he's been fine. He's been pretty much fine. So Big Play Slay says, good stream, my guy. Thanks again, my man. I appreciate that. One love. Jalen Hurts me says, Mahomes, Brady, Lamar, Josh Allen, Kyler, Russell, Dak, Stafford, Rodgers, and Lawrence is my top 10 QB. Nice. I dig it. But I'm going to say fuck Lawrence. Just kidding. I have a gut skepticism with Lawrence. I really do. Like there's something in my gut that's saying this guy like reeks of one of the biggest busts of all time. Like I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm not saying that that's likely to happen, but there is something in my in the feelings that stem from my innards that he could possibly be one of the biggest busts of all time. Zach Wilson, on the other hand, I feel really, really good about. I feel really good about Zach Wilson. So there's that. And what about Deshaun Watson? What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the Deshaun Watson thing? You guys have been asking me. I want to ask you now. Do you guys think it will get thrown out? It sounds like it's going to. MG says Julio to Tennessee would make that offense amazing. Agreed. We were just talking about this too. Is like apparently the Eagles did reach out to the Falcons. Obviously you can take that with a grain of salt, or you can, or not. The truth of the matter is that could the Eagles make a move? They possibly could. To say that it's not needed is absolute hogwash in my opinion. I mean, anybody who needs a number one wide receiver could use Julio Jones as Big Play Slay so graciously said earlier in the stream. Dacus King says, wasn't it you that was high on Trevor Lawrence, or was it Patrick that was obsessed with him? I thought one of you were. Patrick was obsessed with Trevor Lawrence. Like I said, he likes Trevor Lawrence more than I do. There's just something about it that, and I like Trevor Lawrence too. I do. And I said, I think, and there were previous streams where I said, I think the only QB that I want to move up to grab would probably be Trevor Lawrence, and that's because I had faith in Jalen Hurts. But that was also like, I don't know, that was like February, I think. Yeah, I think that was February when I said that. Yeah, February or really early March when I said that. And then I kind of fell in love with Zach Wilson. You guys know that I if you guys remember correctly, that I was on the Mac Jones train for a solid week. And thought that the Eagles had a chance at taking Mac Jones, because at that point in time, they were not dedicating faith to Jalen Hurts quite yet. So, but obviously my opinion has changed. But I think Zach Wilson will be the better quarterback out of that draft class. That I will go out and say. Talking sports with MG Nas. MG, Watson thing has gone quiet. It has. And who knows why, but I do believe that it's starting to simmer down. It's starting to simmer down. I just think that whole situation was weird. I still do. I think it's weird, and I think there's but I'm not going to say that that either one is wrong or right, because because if it's true, if those things are true, then yeah, he shouldn't play in the league anymore. That's god awful for those women, and is one of the problems with today. But if it's not true, if none of it's true, then damn that lawyer, right? Damn that lawyer. Big Play Slay says Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, Lance, but he probably has the highest potential of the 4 QBs, but also has the highest bust potential. Woohoo! Which one? Which one are you talking about? Lawrence? Jalen Hurts says, does pineapple belong on a pizza? I don't mind doing a pineapple. I don't mind throwing some pineapple on my pizza. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm a pepperoni and jalapeno guy. You guys have not tried that combination. Ooh, it is delicious, because you get the aroma from the jalapenos, right? You get the aroma from the jalapenos, and obviously the spice and the flavor of the jalapenos as well to go with it. And then, pepperoni and jalapeno, they're both spicy, so they also exude, more than just flavor. They kind of create a new aroma for your for your slice of pizza pie. So, guys, here's my ranking. I think it's Patty Mahomes, obviously number one. I don't see how that guy doesn't continue to do well. I really don't. I would love it. If Jalen Hurts showed potential of being the next, somewhat close to the next Russell Wilson. Like, that would be great. Or Deshaun Watson. Like, that would be great. I would absolutely love that. Because it wouldn't make me feel so bad about trading Carson Wentz away. It would give us bright and hope, for the bright faith and hope for the future. With Jalen, knowing that we have our guy, we have our quarterback. But again, we'll have to see. He continues to work really fucking hard, and I absolutely love it. Jalen Hurts says, I'm more of a vegan, cheese, and no meat kind of guy. I like that. That's cool. Very, very cool. It sounds very sophisticated. I'm more of a vegan, cheese, and no meat kind of guy. But when it comes down to it, I don't know where I'm going with that one. Jalen Hurts says, I'm not a weirdo, lol, but that sounds good, bro. Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. I'm not trying to be weird. It's just who I am, Jalen. But what do you guys think about my I actually didn't finish answering this question from earlier. Breakout defensive player. Oh, I did. Josh Sweat. Another one that I want to add on to that list is I do believe that Alex Singleton showed us something, guys. I believe that Alex Singleton showed us something. So I'm gonna look out for him. Jacoby Stevens, obviously, as I've said. How do you guys feel about Urban Meyer saying that we were actually sitting on Kadarius Toney with the pick that we took Travis Etienne with? Do you guys think that's a rookie mistake, or a rookie NFL head coach mistake, or is there nothing? Is there nothing there? Do you think he was just talking about the skill level of Kadarius Toney, which is again a great move for the New York Giants, which gives them the potential of being a scary offense again. Honestly, the last time that they were a scary offense, the last time that they were a scary offense may have been, I don't know. I mean, they weren't ever that scary. They weren't ever really consistent, honestly. Trying to remember when they had Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw, they were consistently scary then. Speaking of Brandon Jacobs, still thinking he can make a comeback. We'll just have to see. But guys, I want to talk about this for a little bit, which is the media continuously trying to paint the Philly fans in a bad light. Look, I don't like it. And the reason why is because a lot of the time when like people like, the dude who poured popcorn on Russell Westbrook, those guys, I mean, those guys don't represent the entire city of Philadelphia. You know what I mean? In fact, those guys are really outsiders. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. Like we respect the athletes. We respect the athletes. We don't. Yeah. Are we gonna boo you if you're making our team look silly? Yeah. But what that guy did at that 76ers Wizards game was just absolutely bullshit. Absolute bullshit. You know what I mean? Just didn't dig it. Just didn't dig it at all. It really turned my insides out. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, guys, yeah, I appreciate you guys getting on here with me. That's pretty much all we had for today. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. You all have a beautiful Saturday. Stay safe, stay healthy, one love, and go Birds, baby.